Dear students, today I will discuss about combination of two SHM. Okay, in the previous classes I have discussed about only simple harmonic motion, and this is due to only one restoring force. We know that a simple harmonic motion will only occur when a restoring force is arise in the system. Without restoring force, simple harmonic motion is not possible. But if a particle is acted upon by two restoring force, okay, if the particle is acted upon by two restoring force, then what will be the resultant motion of this particle, or what will be the displacement of the particles for acting two forces, two restoring forces on the particle. Okay, so I will discuss over here the combination of two SHM, that is. So what will be the resultant motion of this SHM? Let me take first a very simple case, that the displacement occurs due to this two restoring force is in the same direction. So if for one force the displacement of the particle is x1 is equals to a sin omega t, then for other force let me take x2 is equals to a sin omega t plus delta. Okay, where delta is the phase difference. Where delta is phase difference. Where delta is phase difference. Okay, or you can say the initial phase of the second particle. Here the initial phase of the first displacement due to the first restoring force is 0. So now what will be the resultant displacement? So the resultant displacement will be you can say x is equals to x1 plus x2. So what will be x? So x will be a, okay, you can say this is a1 and this is a2. Okay, the amplitude of this two displacement will also be different. So it will be x is equals to a1 sin omega t plus a2 sin omega t plus delta. But I have assumed for simplicity that angular frequency is omega. It is same. Both the simple harmonic motions have the same angular frequency. Okay, and the angular frequency is omega. For simplicity, I have taken it. Okay. Now, if we proceed further, it will take the form. This can be written as sin a plus b. Okay, so it will be a1 sin omega t plus a2 sin omega t plus delta will be sin a cos b plus you can say cos a sin b. So it will be cos omega t and sin delta. So it will be a1 sin omega t plus a2 sin omega t cos delta plus a2 cos omega t sin delta. And if we take common sin omega t, then it will be a1 plus a2 cos delta into sin omega t plus a2 sin delta into cos omega t. Now, if we put this a1 plus a cos delta, here a1, a2 and delta all are constants. Okay, so we can put this constant as another constant to get a well-known form. This is always correct, but we want to get a well-known form or the form like this. Okay, this individual displacement. Here I have taken the individual displacement in terms of a sin omega t plus delta in this form. But here the resultant displacement that I have got up to here is not like that. It's a combination of these two. But we can write this combination of two in another form which looks like the individual displacement, that is a sin omega t or a cos omega t in this form. Okay, so I want to modify it, or I want to further I want to get more well-known form from these things. I can assume this constant as another constant and these constants also as another constant. So I can assume that a1 plus a cos delta as r cos theta and this a2 sin delta as r sin theta. Okay, so what will be the case? So it will be r cos theta sin omega t plus r sin theta cos omega t, or you can say it's r sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. So it will be sin a plus b, so sin omega t plus theta. So now this is the same form as we have taken over here, or we have taken over here. So we can see from this calculation that the resultant displacement of the SHM or of the particle which execute SHM due to two restoring forces. So this will be the resultant displacement of it, where this r is the resultant amplitude. This r is the resultant amplitude, and this theta is the phase difference with the first displacement, that is x1, because x1 was only sin omega t and here x is sin omega t plus theta. So the phase difference theta is with x1. We can think it like this, or you can think that this the phase difference between this resultant with this x2 is delta minus theta. Here is theta and that is delta, so it will be delta minus theta. So you can characterize this theta with respect to x1 or with respect to x2, okay, as you wish. But the more important thing is that we have got this expression x equals to r sin omega t plus theta, and here the resultant amplitude is r and the resultant phase difference with the first, I can say, I like to say actually, with the first displacement x1 is theta. But the problem is that we can express this r and theta in terms of a1, a2 and delta, because a1, only a1, a2 and delta are the characteristics terms which we have defined earlier for each of the displacement, or the displacement due to each of the restoring forces. So when I want to express the final expression or the resultant expression, we have to characterize this r and theta in terms of a1, a2 and delta. So we can do it easily. Okay, how can we do it? I like to do it in the next page. We have here r is nothing but, r cos theta is nothing but r cos theta was a1 plus a2 cos delta. Okay, r cos theta was a1 plus a2 cos delta, and r sin theta was only a2 sin delta. Okay, a2 sin delta. So if we square and adding them, then we will get r square cos square theta plus r square sin square theta is equals to a1 plus a2 cos delta whole square plus a2 sine delta whole square. So it will be r square is equal to a1 plus a2 cos delta whole square plus a2 sine delta whole square. So it will be r square equals to a1 square plus a2 square cos square delta plus 2a1 a2 cos delta plus a2 square sin square delta. So it will be from these two things, a1 a2 square cos square delta and a2 square sin square delta, we will get only a2 square. So a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 into cos delta. So r will be square root of this. So this is the resultant amplitude in terms of a1, a2 and delta. And what will be the phase difference? And if we divide this 1 and 2, okay, so we will get r sin theta divided by r cos theta, that is tan theta, and this tan theta will be a2 sin delta divided by a1 plus a2 cos delta. Okay, so this is the phase difference of the resultant SHM with the first SHM, you can say, or you can say for the first displacement. Now the expressions are well known for us. These are the expressions of vector addition. So we can think of these amplitudes of these two SHM in vector diagram like this. Let me take this as a1. Amplitude is a displacement, so we can treat it as a vector quantity. So it is, let me take this as a1 and this as a2. So this will be the resultant r. Okay, and you can say this angle is theta. Okay, which is the phase difference with the first, and this can be taken as delta, which is the angle between a1 a2, and this is actually the phase difference between the x1 and x2. Okay, so if we treat it like this, then we can easily write these two terms from this figure by using the parallelogram law. So the method that I have followed first is actually the algebraic method, and then we can realize that the result, when we get the result, we can realize that this can be treated as like this in terms of vector addition, and you can say this is as parallelogram law. So we can think it as a parallelogram by using the parallelogram law, okay, by using the vector method. So this is the vector method of combining two or more simple harmonic motion when the simple harmonic motions are in same direction. Okay, but if they are in the different direction or perpendicular to each other, then the scenario will be different. I will discuss in the next class also. That is called something that is called actually Lissajous figure. Okay, the particles which are execute simple harmonic motions with two restoring forces which are perpendicular to each other, or the displacement will be perpendicular to each other, then the path traced by the particles in that case will be the Lissajous figure. Okay, so we will discuss Lissajous figures in the next class, and for this class this was the main thing. Okay, so thank you.